I will restore Ashina to glory. Not allow Ashina to be crushed.
Count Sekiro! Now my blood boils! Face me, Sekiro!
Hey everybody! I did it! The last boss lives up to his hype as being the last boss. Cause he is the hardest boss in the game. Ishin took me... Let's see. I think he took me somewhere around 6 hours to beat. Not consecutively. I didn't spend like an entire workday just fighting Saint Ishin. But over, what's it, like a week and a half? 6 hours? Yeah, he was a pain in the ass, and he wasn't even the biggest problem in that fight. Yeah, my heart's still racing, because, yeah, that fight was a pain in the ass. At his peak, Ishin Ashina devoted himself to deadly conflict in pursuit of strength. A single-minded killing machine of a man. Great. In his younger years, Ishin was a devil with the sword, spending his days in pursuit of life-or-death combat. He often ruminated on how a cut should be made, but his blade always moved first. Sounds pretty dope. Yes, give me all of the levels at the end of the game. Oh, man. I used all my consumables. I used all of them, so, there's that, I guess. I can't even use it because I'm out of spirit emblems. Oh, the irony. Ichimonji double, though. Too good. Very, very good. Oh, kneel before the divine heir.
Wolf, where are you?
I am at your side. Take the dragon tears.
My sworn shinobi. Now. Sever these ties of immortality.
I think it is best that you have this. No doubt, the day will come. When a shinobi arrives seeking strength.
Okay. That was an ending. That is what we will say. So Sekiro takes over for the sculptor who I'm assuming died. That's the only thing I can guess. And now he sculpts things? Why was that more confusing than the Bloodborne ending? Can I skip these? I can. Okay. I thought she was gonna give the arm back to him. If you choose not to start playthrough 2 now, you may do so by accessing the large sculptor's idol in the dilapidated tent. Do I want to do it? No. No. Not really, no. I thought she was gonna give him the arm and be like, this is yours. You do with it what you will, because there will be a time when evil arises again, or some stupid thing like that setting up DLC, which I don't think is gonna happen now, with the announcement of Miyazaki X George R.R. Martin game happening or being announced in like any day now at E3. Oh boy. So if I go in here, is the sculptor still here? No, there is no sculptor to be found. Inspect. Oh. Do it yourself. Because nobody's gonna do it for you. I have to collect my thoughts, because I have to give a good final statement. Let's quit the game, because we're done for now. Let me collect my thoughts for a minute, and we'll be right back. So, BRB. Okay, so I've had a little sit down, a little ponder. I wrote some stuff down. Because my emotions are very conflicting with this game. I've said a lot of things through this LP. I stand by a good, I'll say 60% of it. The other 40% is basically stuff I said out of frustration with the game not being, I guess I'll just say it, not being what I wanted it to be. I guess that's the best way I could say it. It's not what I thought it was going to be, not what I anticipated it being. I got some pros and cons though. More cons than not. But let's start with the good stuff, I guess. The controls are great. And the game and the areas, while being very similar, look great. It's the best any FromSoft / Miyazaki game has ever played or looked. And I truly mean that. It's better than Bloodborne, it's better than Dark 3. I hope the next game feels just as good, if not better. Obviously with a little tweaking here and there, depending on what style the game is. You know, you might not need a jump button. Maybe dodges might actually want to work the way dodges work, instead of just me moving to the side to get hit by the overhead slash, the overhead tracking hit. Maybe give me iframes. I don't know. But it's a 10 out of the 10 in that department. The other one is, I've said it a lot, there are genuinely cool moments and fights in this game. Some of the coolest I've seen in any game up until now. Genichiro's fight, or his first fight, not that, you will get to that second fight. But his first fight, great. Owl's fight, I think there's another owl fight in the not dream, but the past? But Owl's real world fight, great. The Mystic Dragon, the coolest looking boss I've ever seen. Just go back and watch the videos that have cool in the title. There are a lot of them, because there's a lot of cool moments. But here's where we get into the negatives. This is not, some of these aren't just me. Some of them are how I feel personally, but others are how I've heard a lot of people say about this game. Mostly about the story being a convoluted mess and full of MacGuffins. To me, it feels like they were pandering to people who didn't understand or like the lore hunt aspect of DS3 and Bloodborne. I like the cutscenes, don't get me wrong. Most of the cool moments actually happened in those cutscenes, but there wasn't enough of them. The NPC conversations is where the game lost me a lot. Talking to that fucking kid was the worst. Every time Emma said, "Master Kudo wants to speak with you," I wanted to turn the console off. I absolutely dreaded it. He would drone on about immortality and how to sever it and how I needed to go get another magic MacGuffin off in a far-off land. It felt like he was reading me a Stephen King novel, honestly. I would have preferred cutscenes with item lore. I feel like that would have been a perfect mixture. Like, tell me the main stuff up front in cutscenes, and have the items tell me about Tomoe and Dogon, because the NPCs mentioning them in passing does nothing for me. Let me watch the cutscenes, and honestly just give me another excuse to watch Vadividya explain some things. I would have preferred that. A big thing, I've mentioned it a lot, and I've cursed its name. The posture mechanic didn't need to be a thing. I get it, it's different. But different isn't better. You know, I'll speak on this in a little bit, but I've said this one also a lot. This feels like Miyazaki's spin on Dark Souls 3, or not 3. Sorry, Miyazaki did 3. On 2. Like, just humans everywhere with overhead tracking attacks. I get that it's trying to be true to life, but Bloodborne had fucking werewolves in Victorian England. I'm pretty sure listen, unless American Werewolf in London was based on true events or a documentary, I don't think that's how Victorian England was. That might just be me not knowing my history, we'll say. Another thing that I've harped on so much. There are just too many mini-bosses. I think that's a common complaint. There's just too many of them. If you cut most of the mini-bosses out, you lose nothing of substantial worth. There's just so many cut and paste, like there's what, the 7 samurai of the spear or something like that? There's actually 7 of them in the game. That's absurd. I want more main bosses. More big, dramatic main bosses. We have like 10 of them. And a third of those are repeats. With Al being fought, I think, twice. Genichiro a possible 3 times. And I think Ishin can be fought one other time before the main thing. Or in one of the other endings, maybe. But speaking of bosses, here's a big nitpick of mine. And it came through with 2 bosses. Headless and Ishin, actually, the last boss fight. And that point is, there's no time to practice against bosses. Let me explain. Hard as fuck bosses are fine. That's what these games are built on. That's what the reputation is. But if I have to go through hoops just to spend a minute fighting a boss only to die and have to do all of it all over again, that's not fun. It's annoying at the very least, and at worst, I'll say it, it's bad game design. I just wanted to learn old man Ishin's moves. I got to his 3rd phase once before I actually beat him. Like, I died. I had to run through Genichiro and stage 1 and 2. I just wanted to learn his moves, but I had to go through 3 other phases. I'm not saying multiple phase boss fights are bad by any means. They're great. But when I have to fight Genichiro, who's going to hit me at least a little bit, and I'm going to have to use a consumable healing item, like a pellet or something like that, just to get to Ishin's first phase, to learn that moveset, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. I know, I get it. The story part of it is really anime and really cool. But just take Genichiro out of the battle after I kill him the first time. I don't think... Like, what's the problem there? And going to the other example, Headless, or any of the ghost bosses, honestly, if you want to learn how to fight Headless, not Headless, good luck. You get, what, 2 whole fights against him before you run out of confetti? If you want another shot at him, you gotta progress to the very end of the game before any merchant starts selling confetti. Like, when I fought Koss, if I wanted to learn Koss, I would go fight Koss. If I wanted to learn the Nameless King, I go fight Nameless King. If I wanted to learn the Soul of Cinder, you get the idea yet? And yet, I'd be fine with all of these complaints, honestly, if the enemies and boss fights weren't based around the damned posture mechanic every single time. If the boss fights were like Blood or Dark, I'd be more open to liking this game. But please answer me this. Why the fuck does a bull have posture? Anybody? Anybody at all? It wasn't armored. It had a log on its back. Logs aren't armor. Logs are heavy. The only fight that should have been posture-based is the Armor Knight on the bridge. That's literally the only one that makes sense to me. And honestly, everything I hate about this game boils down to the posture system. If that mechanic wasn't in the game, I think I would have loved this game because it would have been Samurai Souls or Shinobi Born. And I think it's because it makes the game slower than what I'm used to. You have to slowly chip away at almost every enemy encounter. Boss fights take 10 minutes just to get through the first phase most of the time. That's a sharp left turn away from how Dark Souls and especially Bloodborne played. I guess I'm just frustrated at both the game and myself, honestly. I'm frustrated with myself because I thought I would like this game more than I actually do. Hell, maybe a second playthrough will change my mind a bit. Not right now, but sometime down the road, maybe there'll be a Redux. Maybe if there is a DLC, I'll do a Redux series, getting the other endings, and maybe it'll give me a relook at it because I'll know what everything is and how everything works. Because there's a lot here that I would have and should have liked if the posture system didn't weigh it down, and that's what makes me disappointed. If you like this game, if you're calling yourself the king of Sekiro, good for you. I'm definitely not going to try to stop you. You do you. It's just not my jam, clearly. I'm starting to think that I'm not a Souls-like fan. I'm starting to think I'm just a Dark Souls fan. I mean, I like the Surge from, like, the half hour I played of it. Although I hear it gets unbeatably hard halfway through and not in the fun way. I did like that Adult Swim Souls-like game, the one on the PS4. I don't remember its name, but I remember liking it, I think. I think that might be my new Nindo, my ninja way, going forward. To play more Souls-like games to see if I truly am a Souls-like fan, or I just like Dark Souls. That should be interesting. Yeah, I really wish I liked this game more. I really do. I'm rambling. I know I'm in the majority with saying this game is ass. But I'm holding it to a higher standard than most, I guess. I wanted a cool samurai action, a cool ninja action, just in the Dark Souls universe. And I got that for the most part. It's just the heart of it was the posture mechanic, with just like a layer of darks. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm rambling. That'll do it for this episode. Hopefully, maybe we get a DLC. I doubt it, though. Like I said, Miyazaki, George R.R. Martin, slash fic is happening. That should be really, really cool, honestly. That's gonna get announced in, like... Actually, by the time this goes up, maybe it is announced. Don't know. We'll see. But I want to thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think of this game. It's probably going to be way different than what I think. Probably. Like I said, I think I'm in the minority here with how I'm thinking about this game. But I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, super kick that like button. Check out my channel for more videos I have done. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button and sever the ties of immortality. My god, that's so silly, yet so metal. Kill the fucking notification bell. I'm looking at you, Google. Kill that damn thing and make everything the way it was when it was better. Goodbye. I got dark at the end. Shit.